Hello and welcome to the next episode of my Diablo 2 series. Today we're back as the Frenzy Barbarian and we're going off to do Act 1 Quest 3 in search of Cain. Just locating where the next question, where the entrance to the stony field is, sorry, got a little confused there. Just grabbing the loot. So, as you can see, my Barbarian puts out a reasonable amount of damage now. Beeline now for the stony field, and this damage is going to come in helpful later when we start fighting some of the larger creatures and some of the bosses. Loot. That's quite a bit of it. Okay, so drink that mana potion. Seems to be giving me much in the way of magic. It is giving me lots of skulls, which will come in helpful later. But I do if I'm using items, I should say. Put that into my belt. Drink that mana potion. Just carry on. My hirelings seem to have got stuck in the house, but fortunately they do teleport to you after a short period of time. Identify them right away. I prefer the ones I've got. Extra defense is always helpful, especially will be boosted by Shay. Identify that ring. Clearing the area. By accident there. Right, so carrying on. Potion, might as well. Key. So, nice, simple, straightforward. Using the bonus attack speed from double swing. The bonus damage on the passive, you get double swing dash. Key. What I've got's better. Up my damage. Which is the most important thing at this stage, being able to put out the damage. You can get your damage high enough at early level, you should be able to one-shot everything, which means they've got less chance of damaging you, reducing your health, and therefore increase your survivability. This is generally a good rule. If you can put out enough damage, you shouldn't need to worry too much about it.
And so it...
You will still need to work on your defense and your resistances. These things will still be able to hurt you, but it'll be less of an issue. And with that, I want to talk a little bit about stats, and how they split between primary and secondary statistics. I'll pause here and build my character. Your primary statistics are your damage, your defense, your life, and your resistances. And the reason I say that is because what this game essentially comes down to, and how you win it, is being able to kill things before they kill you. With being able to reduce the amount of incoming damage and put out the damage quickly. Now, these stats are buffed in a number of ways. Your strength buffs is a secondary stat for damage and for defense. For damage, because with characters that use attacks to do damage, so the Barbarian, the Amazon, and the Paladin, it also buffs your defense because it allows you to wear heavier armors and use larger shields. So beneficial all round to make sure that you have a high strength as all your characters. Now, obviously you don't, with the sorceress and necromancer, you don't want to be putting your strength too high because then
magic stones are ancient.
How much you can which was wasted because I did that immediately. Resistances are the only ones that are the only stats, or primary stats I should say, that don't have a secondary stat attached. There is no way in-game for you to increase your resistances through leveling up your character. The closest you can get is by taking the natural resistance skill on the Barbarian, but that does not directly affect any other character. The Paladin has an aura that also puts up resistances, which can help you and your party, but that detracts from defensive abilities. It's only worthwhile if you're playing in a group of friends that you can regularly rely upon to do the damage for you. If you're playing with random people on Battle.net, or if you're in solo play, you physically would not be able to do enough damage to get the kills required to complete the game. It's that simple. So you need to focus. On getting up your damage. Which is where you need to start using the offensive auras on the Paladin from. Now, this is all fine and well. Right. You get yourself an offensive aura like Holy Freeze or Fanaticism or Holy Fire or Holy Shock or whatever you choose to go with. And yes, you can put out the damage quite nicely. But that is obviously going to lower your resistances. Best way to put up resistances is through items, primarily rings and amulets. But any item will help buff you if it has a bonus to your resistances. Now, the reason is because they aren't specific to a certain type of primary stat. Unlike items that you wear or weapons that you wield, clothing, armour gives you defense. That's enough. At the same time, weapons give you damage, plain and simple. Whereas rings just give you something, and that something varies from rings and amulets, so I give you something. It varies from item to item.
I need mana.
The big thing is to make sure that when you're affecting your amulets that they have a resistance on. Ideally you want to put something else as well. But primarily you want to have that nice decent level of resistance. Resist all is good, if not, try and use ones to spread your resistances around. Because in this area, you will have creatures that do a variety of different types of elemental damage. Be it fire, ice, lightning, poison, whatever. Now, if you're using a shield, then another way, obviously, as in Amazon videos, is to put diamonds into a socketed shield. Now, this is well worth it, especially as in the higher levels, you can get a much higher level of resist all, especially at the level of perfect diamond. Say, or better yet, even 6, you can put your resistances to an incredibly high amount just off that one item. And when combined with the additional resistances from rings and amulets, can make you fairly unstoppable. Now, I say fairly because at the same time, pardon me, because at the same time, your resistances are capped at 75. So you'll always take a quarter damage from incoming magical attacks. So you need to be aware of that. There are ways you can buff your maximum resistances. There are certain items that do it. They normally also give you a it's pretty difficult. So obviously with this Barbarian build I will be taking some other levels in natural resistance. At level 20 it's going to give me plus 67 to all my resistances, which, you know, is quite impressive. That's an awful lot of resistance to damage. Combined with the fact that Barbarian has high health as well, and the fact that I am putting at least 1 point per level into my vitality, it will make me quite tanky, very able to resist damage. That, combined with the fact that some creatures have to land an actual hit on you in order to do their elemental damage, and what you're looking at there, with the high defense from Shite and high skill, is a Barbarian who is now unkillable. Not completely unkillable. There are certain abilities that ignore resistance and just do damage, and also Diablo's Lightning Apocalypse is one of those abilities. There's Holy Freezer, works in something like the bonus of resistances. Which, you know, that is something you are going to want to keep in mind. skills in it. Defense, obviously, works off of reducing the chance an enemy has to hit you, rather than directly reducing the damage like certain games. This will tell you that most minions aren't going to be able to hurt you. You will get some caster minions that'll be able to do damage, but generally, if you've got decent so I'm doing slightly better on items now. So I'll identify some of these. Okay, we're going to just put the full healing potions into our belt. Drink the minor mana potion. We organise our infantry. Check the areas are properly clear. Got that mana potion. Head on out. So those are your 4 main stats, and they're buffed each in turn by a secondary stat. As I've mentioned, your damage is buffed by your strength, as is your defense. Your defense is also buffed by your dexterity, and that dexterity bonus obviously represents a chance to dodge. And so, with the Amazon, where she predominantly relies on dexterity and attack rating for damage, essentially doing more damage by being more accurate, and also allows you to get a decent level of defense. However, the Amazon is very good in terms of hit points. Doesn't get as many hit points per Barbarian in main character.
I am overburdened.
Clear out space in infantry for that. Keep on that. We're just going to sell what we've got. We'll put a healing potion just to make the most use of my inventory.
Not in town.
So,
the Order welcomes you.
next stat, health, obviously based straight off of vitality. There are no other stats that buff it. And that's statistics broken down as simply as I can manage. So that's what you want to be looking at. Now, this doesn't mean you should neglect energy and not put any points in it. You will need to have mana in order to cast spells or use abilities. So it's well worth making sure you're putting a point per level into that. Obviously, with the sorceress, you're going to probably want to put more in because you're going to be relying more on your spells and abilities than most of the other classes. At the very least, the Amazon can still stab with a spear if she's got something and can stab it, as can the Paladin. Likewise, a bow type Amazon can still shoot arrows when she's got no mana. So mana's not too big an issue. Certainly with a necromancer, if you're planning on using any of the damage bone spells, it's well worthwhile. Make sure you've got plenty of mana. So therefore highly energy. But that's it as far as stats goes. With regards to the Barbarian, you do want to be mostly focusing on strength and vitality. What I would recommend is, as you see, when you level up, if you put 2 points into strength, 1 point in each dexterity, energy and vitality, and when you complete, I believe it's at quest 4 and 3, and bonus 5 step, get the potion gives you a bonus 5 step points, that you put those extra points into your vitality. This in turn will help you maintain a good level of tankiness, give you the extra hit points you require to survive the big fights. And Bale if you have the expansion pack. And also when you go into further difficulty levels, it will also help with making you tankier against the likes of Bloodraven and Dariel, Radamant, and a bunch of others that you'll come across throughout your questing. Okay, so here we are in the Dark Woods, so we're going to try and doesn't seem to be dropping many of them. So found the way out. Put it give it a bit of an explore. I'm going to run from them. I'll come back and get them later. I know they're there. But the last thing I have to do is get a protracted fight when I can be off gaining levels. Just keep pushing around the edge. Level 10, so we're not doing too much. About where we should be at the moment. I'll drink that mana potion. Got fallen and their variants run away from you, kill them. So generally, they'll scatter, and then you'll spend the rest of your time trying to take them down. Likewise, a lot of the other creatures tend to stay out, so you can't get your second swing off and hit a separate target. However, as much as it may not be mana efficient, it does improve your damage. The passive from Bash, 10%. Not much, but it's better than a 50%. going to give the carvers a harder time to hit me. The Chains will still be able to hit me and do exactly the same amount of damage, but not. It's going to be quite a protracted fight, so if I go quiet, I apologise. A lot of damage at the moment, so I'm going to start using more soft damage. I did kind of get drawn into that a little bit. Grab that stamina potion. So I've used my other one. Okay, so drink the minor mana potion, the rejuve potion, and the minor health potion, rejuve potion, and minor mana potion. Pick up that magical pole axe. Check we have actually cleared the area. I have actually cleared the area. I did what I didn't want to do, so I got lured off into the now I might as well finish clearing this, and then I just know this entire corner is clear. I can worry about it. I don't have to worry about it. Topaz, got that rejuve potion. Okay. I'm starting to get a decent level of items and equipment. Hopefully the drop rate's improved for me. I'm just going to drink that. Doing a pretty good job of the enemy. Right, got a mana recharge. He was using the holy fire already, when I was taking damage just for staying near him. Grab those light potions. Key. Hopefully this is showing you sort of how quickly the Barbarian can kill things. And most people tend to think of the Barbarian as a tank. Yes, you can build into a super tank and awesome. But at the same time you can build a super tank and Barbarian and still be able to put out large amounts of damage. And this is showcasing that. Hopefully it is. I have seen Barbarian builds that rely heavily on bash and then take one-handed and shield weapon set. This can work very effectively if you're just going pure tank. If you want to go damage, you're never going to have two one-handed weapons or two one-handed swords wielding one. You are generally better off for the majority of the game just relying on Barbarian's ability to put out damage. He is the ultimate melee combat character. Everything else is just pure weapons. He does have tanky abilities. He's got 6 out of his 10 passive skills are directly related to improving your damage. Skills directly increasing damage, and finally he even has damage. I
can't carry anymore.
On his war cries as well. By way of a skill increased war cry. Skill tree. He can also party by lowering damage and attack rating. He can also set monsters away, giving you crowd control. One of the few characters in the game that actually has effective crowd control. So, under war cries, battle orders increases stamina, life and mana. Battle command increases skill levels for the entire party. War cry stuns and does damage. Battle cry reduces enemy defense and damage. Taunt reduces target's damage and attack rating. You can have got find item, find potion and grim ward. Grim ward scares monsters away from the area. This is a thoroughly amazing skill. Oops, I was supposed to put that into shout. Never mind, I'll put that in later. I'm not really using shout too much at the moment. I am, however, using my maces, so extra damage is always helpful. Might as well identify some of these items right here. Fire resist 10. Well, my cold and my poison resist are my 2 lowest, so I'm going to leave that and just see what other items I get. So it may be that on this one I get an item that gives me a bonus that replaces lightning or fire damage with lightning or fire resistance, right? Poison
I am overburdened.
Right, I'm just going to clear this up.
I can't carry anymore.
Right, so 10. Sell this.
Hello.
Continue clearing out the area. Be back now, I might as well sell it. Going to sell the diamonds, so I'm not using the shield, so they're not that great. As far as putting gems into weapons goes, you're going to want cold damage, lightning damage and fire damage from rubies. Poison damage is personal preference. I don't like the fact that the damage happens over time. I'd rather the damage was instantaneous. But it is personal preference. You may find that you like poison damage because it does more damage. So it's 4 to 16, 4 to 18, 6 to 10. I think I'm better off with what I've currently got, so I will just sell that. Go put my gems and my gold in my stash. So, going back to talking about damage, strength
This
isn't the only
tree is
way
one of a
to
kind.
boost your damage. The other way is by taking points and skills, obviously enough. So you want to make sure you're getting the most out of your skills. Making sure you have at least one of those skills at level 20. Especially a damaging skill. Now you've got, by the time you play the card game, you have 90 skill points from round. You get one for completing Denver. You get another one for completing the first quest in Act 2. You get 2 more to complete the first quest in Act 4. There'll be 4 named Angel Iswal. All in, this gives you 110 skill points to spend. With this build, that'll give me 20 points on Frenzy, 20 points in Iron Skin, 20 points in Natural Resistance, 20 points in Base Mastery, and 20 points in Shout. All in all, my defense rate is massive buff, especially if I'm using Shout frequently. I'm going to have really good resistances. I'm going to be putting out large amounts of damage. And I'm going to have good buff my defense, my damage, my resistance, my armor, defense rather. All in all, it's just generally making me a much better character, all round. Now, again with damage, it also is also worthwhile noting that the actual sort of physical amount of damage is somewhat secondary, and also partially relies on your attack speed. After all, the more often you're hitting something, and the more frequently you're hitting, the more damage is going to be applied. So, by taking a character that does little damage but hits repeatedly, like with, say, the Zero, you're able to put out a lot more damage, even if you're doing less sort of total damage per hit. Also, and this helps buff your this in turn helps buff your defense, because every time you hit a monster, it flinches. For want of a better description. This flinching means that they can't attack you or use any of their abilities for a fraction of a second.
Ah, there. Good day.
Identify that. Get rid of it. Sell that. Sell that. And we'll keep on to that mana potion to where I'm going. We know there's a fight coming up. Gold in there. Now we're going to go back to the stony field as before. Now, the fewer skills you spread your points into, the more powerful your character, because you can use secondary skill, to then buff those. With secondary skills, but in the skill trees. So, for example, Frenzy receives a bonus damage from Double Swing, Taunt, and Berserk. Now, once I've finished, I'm not going to have that any spare points left.
The land here is dead and lifeless.
In this build to help me chase down enemy monsters that run away. There, so I got quiet there, but that was kind of an intense fight. Got that man potion, got gold. Everything else there is clear. Go back, collect all this loot. Drink that legendary potion. Replenish all my health and most of my mana. Bodies, yeah. Just going to clear the area. Obviously, the just to get the loot. Okay, so third to the middle. Let's see. Yeah.
I can't carry anymore.
Help!
Completely out of space.
Deckard Cain, you've got to get out of here!
Gold in the buildings. Check that's all the gold in the building. Sometimes there's little extra bits floating around. So, what I'm going to do is drop a minor mana potion. Grab that chip emerald. And I'm going to town portal back.
Hello.
Identify our items. I'm going to sell everything.
You have risked your life to rescue Cain. The Order welcomes you.
I'll just quickly pick that ring up. So, bonus attack rating, bonus to extra gold from monsters. Doesn't have resistance on. The rings I've got already have resistances, so I'm going to keep hold of them. I'm going to sell that. Now that is a really nice spear, and if I was using a two-handed spear rather than a javelin on my Amazon, it might almost be worth taking. However, I'm not, and I can't transfer it to that character anyway, so it gets sold. Put Wurtzleg in my stash, deposit my gold in there, and that's it for today. So, hopefully you found this guide interesting and helpful, and I'll speak to you next time. As always, feel free to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about the channel.